Greetings all. It's Thursday, July the 14th, and I'm on a roll today, so I'm going to try and get through some more of these emails and questions. I'm not sure I'm going to get through all of them yet, but as I said, I'm going to get through them all eventually. So let's get right into it. Okay, next subject I have here is crystal skulls. Um, do I think they're real? Do I think that they harbor knowledge within them? And do I think that we can somehow harness that knowledge? Okay. Do I think they're real? This, I can't answer that, everybody. I see lots of discussion on them and articles and etc. There's an Illuminati card about it. I covered that in my second video where I was studying cards of the Illuminati. Um, I can tell you this: if they are real, then yes, I would believe that they hold knowledge and that there is some kind of way to harness that knowledge. Um, Fellow YouTuber Underworld Classroom has a video, I believe, about harnessing knowledge from crystals, and she covers a wide variety of subjects relating to crystals and crystal skulls. So you may want to check her channel out. She can probably give you more insight than I can on that. So moving on, Israel. What is my opinion on Israel, and why do I think for so long they have been in conflict with Gaza and the Palestinians? Okay, well here's my first thought on Israel. I mean, when you look at Israel, just look at how it's spelled. The first thing I think of when I see Israel is gods and goddesses. To me, the IS represents Isis, and then we have RA, Ra, and then we have ELL, Israel. So the name itself is suspect. Now, why do I think they've been in conflict with Gaza and Palestine so long? Well, of course, there's always the land dispute, but there are also many things I'm sure that we don't hear about. Um, in my own personal opinion, I think Israel knows many secrets about space and time and all that. And that's why, the Jews were tried to be hunted down by, in World War II by Hitler and the Nazis and all that. And the swastika itself, a lot of people see it and they think right away it's a Nazi sign. I can tell you that the swastika is an alien sign. So study on that. Moving on. The Vril and the Vimana. Do I believe they are real? And the answer to that is yes, I do. I've been studying the Vimana, and recently I've been studying Vril technology. You can look it up yourself and study it. I believe it is real, and I believe they do exist, absolutely. And I believe the Vimana and the Vril are both much older than what we think they are. The Vimana, I believe, originated in the Hindu faith, and they're Hindu wisdom. Check out that website. They have quite a bit on Vimanas there. It's during that time it would be viewed as a very advanced technology. Okay, moving on. Religion. Okay, this is a big one. I'm going to do my best not to upset a lot of people on this one. Basically, what I'm being asked here is, what is my religion, and do I believe that religion is, in fact, real and is used for faith and good purposes, or do I believe it's used to manipulate? Okay, first of all, my religion, I can't say I have a religion yet. I've learned much the last year, and I have no doubt that there is some kind of presence. And in my own personal belief, I believe that there is one creator, one source. I do believe in Jesus Christ, and I do believe in Hare Krishna and all of the great prophets and religious leaders of the year over time. I believe they were preaching, the values that they were preaching were just, but overall, in today's age, I believe that the ideas that religion was founded on have been distorted greatly and warped and twisted into a tool used to control everybody. I mean, a benevolent God, as I've said before, would not instill fear in his creations, nor would he, she, it, whatever you want to call it, place themselves above their creations. It would, in my opinion, they should be equal. So it's a real sensitive subject with a lot of people, this religion thing, and I'm gonna leave it at that. So there you have it, everybody. That's my take on religion. Moving on. Hollow Earth and Agartha. Do I believe that it exists? Yes, absolutely. I believe that it exists. I believe that in order to ascend to the heavens, just as written in the Bible, you must dwell in hollow earth for 3 days or more or less, whatever. I forget the exact quote from the Bible, but it states that thou shalt dwell within the belly of the earth for 3 days, and then thou shalt ascend to heaven. Um, Another question regarding that is the city of Shambhala, and do I believe that's real? And the answer is yes, I do. I believe it's there. And with all these sinkholes opening up, around the world wide, I believe these are openings to hollow earth. Fellow YouTuber M from Canada 1 posted one today about a sinkhole in Utah. And in the photograph, you can see all kinds of orbs in this sinkhole. So, take it as you will, people, but I'm on board with Agartha. Okay, next is Saturn. And I'm being asked, what is my opinion on Saturn? Do I believe that Saturn is planet X and has influence over space and time? And the answer is, I'm not quite labeled it Planet X yet. I still have to do more research, but I do believe that Saturn plays an influence over space and time. YouTuber Occult Science covers a great vast majority of information on Saturn, and Kronos is another name for it. In my studies, Saturn is the god of time and space and agriculture and this world. Saturn is, Kronos is, I believe, the god of this world, the leader of this world. Because this world, what is it about? It's about agriculture, it's about time, it's about space. So, and another question I have is the hexagon at the pole of Saturn. What do I think on that? I believe the hexagon is a cube. And beyond that, I don't really have much more to say about it. So, I have no doubt that hexagon at Saturn's pole plays a big role in what happens on this planet. So, moving on. Freemasons and Freemasonry. Basically, I'm just being asked what's my general, observation and point on Freemasons and Freemasonry. Well, in my studies, the Masons originated sometime in the 12th and 13th century, and originally they were called the Stonemasons. They had knowledge of carpentry and architecture and all that, and the Mason symbol, it shows the compass and the all-seeing eye and everything. It's a very vast subject. There's much information on it. In sometime in the 16th century, I believe, the scientific community was persecuted by the religious community for their beliefs on space and etc. And of course, after that, they went into seclusion and they formed their secret society to rebel against the Catholic Church, the Vatican. Now, this is very suspect to me because I tend to believe that the Masons work with the Vatican. And I have several reasons for that. There's symbolism, my studies of history, and it's the ultimate deception. They the stories we hear that the church prosecuted them and imprisoned them and killed them. I don't quite fully believe that because I believe that they work together and they want everybody to believe that they are against each other. That's what the masters of deception do. And only the highest level Freemasons have the highest level of knowledge. 33rd degree Mason and etc. The lower level Freemasons, they're just given bits and pieces, half truths. So again, it goes back to the whole hierarchy thing, and I'm against hierarchies, at least in this dimension. So, and I recently discovered that my grandfather was a Freemason, and I am inclined to believe that my father is a Freemason as well. So, again, I poke and prod at him all the time for information, for military intel. He doesn't reveal much, but as the days go by, he's opening up more and more. Because I think he knows that time is short. So moving on. NASA. What do I believe is NASA's true agenda? And do I believe they're withholding information from the public? And the answer to that is absolutely. NASA, I believe, has much to hide. And they have they have much knowledge of what's going on in space right now, and they're not going to tell us anything. It's this year there have been 3 shuttle launches, maybe 4, I don't quite recall. But the first shuttle launch of this year was slated to be the last shuttle launch. And since then, of course, there have been 2 more. And the reason they gave for that was because they had insufficient funding. Well, if they had insufficient funding before the first final launch, then how could they have funding for additional launches? And this goes back to the whole Federal Reserve deal, money, corruption, all that bullshit. So, yes, I believe NASA has much to hide, and yes, I believe they are lying. I believe that they alter their data coming from the stereo and Soho to prevent panic or whatever, whatever their agenda is. What their true agenda is, I don't know. But I can tell you that I do believe they are being dishonest and withholding information from the public. Okay, it's probably the last one for today, everybody. Again, forgive me. I'm going to try to get through all this. By the time I finished yesterday's video, I saw that was 16 minutes, and I was like, oh my goodness. I believe that's the longest video I've ever made. So, the last subject today will be birthmarks. I'm getting a lot of questions about rib birthmarks and just birthmarks in general. And, what is my take on them? All I can tell you is to study. If you have a birthmark and you want to learn about it, study about it. Like, I've noticed that in the Hindu writings, it mentions rib birthmarks several times. And I'll show you people. I was born with birthmarks as well. I was born with 12 fingers and 12 toes, and you can see right here I have the remnants of them. And in my studies of birthmarks of 12 fingers and 12 toes, it tends to point toward the Nephilim, the giants, the hybrids that were created. And my father was also born with 12 fingers and 12 toes. So, and he also has negative blood type, and you might want to research that as well. So take it as you will, everyone. If you wish to learn more about your birthmarks, I'm really not the place to come to. As I said, you can look online, you can research it. I'm still learning about my own as well. So that'll do it for today. I may be able to make a video tomorrow, but tomorrow I will be leaving again for a few days. It's time to walk in nature and once again balance my life altogether between this and that and whatever. So in closing, I love you all. I hope you all are well and I hope that I've been able to give you a little more insight and answer your questions. And I hope to get through this massive list with maybe one or two more videos. I don't know. We'll see. Be well, everybody.